So why do we make things so difficult? Hey guys, it's John out here on the back deck yet again. It's the afternoon now, turning into evening. It's actually a little bit after 7 in the evening. And it's just a beautiful, comfortable time to be sitting out on the back deck. I'm actually drinking a cup of decaf coffee. Because I'll be awake all night if I'd had caffeinated right now. I wanted to hop on and talk about the difficult things that we create in our life to make things harder. Difficulties come when we start to succumb to our fears, our anxieties. We start to look at things in our lives and we start to ponder them, or we start to go down the rabbit holes of the mind, looking for answers. And usually within those answers, we're coming from this place of lack, this place of not having awareness, the place of not having connection to God, to source, to consciousness, whatever you call it. And we start hunting. We start hunting for the way to get there and how to get there. One of the things I talk about all the time is in manifestation, one of the most insidious words is how. The how. When I look at spirituality and I look at all of the pathways that people go down looking for the how, I realize that just in the searching for the how, they're creating complexity. They're looking for methods, modalities, techniques, ways of getting to this spiritual awakening or awareness. And I was just as guilty as everyone else for doing the same thing. I went down all the rabbit holes, and I started listening to all the readers and all the psychics, all the the tarot card readers. I started listening to them all, and I started putting my faith in what they were saying was going to be my future. But when I came to realize that it's all far simpler. My first regression was a huge turning point in my life. But the one line that's in there that always stands out is, it's so simple we have a hard time comprehending it. And the other thing that in my studies of spirituality and religion and all of the things that I studied and watched over the years and read over the years, there was this one permeating thing that was all the way throughout. Everything is present. Everything is in the now. Everything is in the present moment. All the complexities have to do with a linear timeline. They have to do with trying to get to heaven or trying to reach nirvana, or using this method, this mantra, this technique, praying and doing confession so that we can get somewhere that's ahead of us, this linear time frame. And when you really dive into the deep studies of spirituality, you find that we only live in one moment. The future is just a place where we set goals, but we never experience those goals until we come back to the present moment, until it comes in, so that outcome comes into our present moment. That's when we experience the fruition of our goals, is when they are in the present moment. The past is just a collection of present moment memories, unchangeable behind us, and the future is just a place where we set goals, but we never leave this present moment. And the simplicity of that idea of, what am I doing in the here and now with this moment? What am I taking this moment and making the best out of? When I used to speak in the corporate world, I spoke a lot in the terminology of success. To be successful, the big outcomes are not magically appearing in your life. Big successful outcomes are happening one successful present moment at a time. And when we look at the one successful present moment idea, one successful loving moment creates a successful loving moment in our past. Now, our past is that collection of those present moment memories becomes our subconscious belief. It becomes the library of knowledge that keeps us going forward because of the beliefs we're creating. But when you look at it from the idea of one successful present moment at a time, you know, it really helps simplify a lot of things, because all of the pathways, all of the methods, modalities, techniques, spiritual practices, right? All of them are on this linear time frame. But when you can draw it back, draw your time close, bring your past up close, bring your future up close, and get very present, and realize I am just being loving in this precise moment. I am just living my abundance in this precise moment. I am receiving in this precise moment. I am creating in this precise moment. When you come back to the simplicity of what am I doing right now, then you have the ability to create anything in your life, because, as I said, the future is just a place to set goals, but now is the only moment of creation. It's the pinpoint of creation, is in this precise moment. And the more we think about this precise moment from the idea of the beautiful life we're creating, as opposed to the methods and modalities we are creating to get to that beautiful life, we are creating that beautiful life in the here and now. So the simplicity of our connection with Source has to have a couple things in common, but the first one is you got to be very present, right? And when you get very, very present, you start to realize that the only moment you're conscious, the only moment you have the ability to look around and experience in real time is the present, right? And as I said, the past is just a collection of memories, and the future is just substance waiting for direction. So here you are in the now. You are in the pinpoint of creation when you just look around where you are right now. And that looking around and saying, okay, what am I doing? Am I creating? Well, then you realize, am I means you're not in the now. You know, think of what it is you want to create in your life and go, I am doing that. Step right into it. Drive right into the belief that it is happening and start taking the actions. Simplicity. Connection to Source. Everyone wants the big light show and all of the Kundalini risings and all of the experiences, but in reality, you've never not been in spirit. Everything you're looking at, we know scientifically, is just energy in motion. It's just an illusion of motion around you, including this hand and your eyes and these eyes and that camera that's sitting in front of me. They are just energy in motion. They are just absolute vibrational energy. All you really are is your consciousness in your present moment. And when you come to that space of realizing that if I come to this present moment and I release all fears and anxieties by simply coming to that place of doing the one thing I can do that is simple and conscious, that releases my fears, and that's called an exhale. Just literally and relax all your muscles. Acknowledge that feeling at the bottom of that breath. Acknowledge that vibration that you feel there. That is the connection to God. That is the awareness of God, because you're never not connected. You're just unaware of the connection. And when you come back to the space of realizing God comes in a feeling, that place of fear itself, and the anxieties and the stresses of the world are the things that keep us out of that awareness. You know, the Bible says you must become as a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. When you watch a toddler breathe, their stomach comes out and goes in. When you watch an adult breathe, their chest comes out and comes in. What's the difference? The adult isn't releasing the air in the bottom of their lungs because they're storing it as a reserve to run fast. They're holding fears and anxieties in. The child has no fears, so they are breathing fully to the bottom of their lungs. So come to that place to realize, how many of you are worried what you might look like if you're not sucking your gut in? Well, sucking your gut in is a product of fear. They're not going to love you because of the way you look. That's a fear. Get present, get fearless. Think of it that simply. I am being this fully authentic self, who I am. and I'm going to love what I love to do, and I'm going to express that into the world. And that is the clearest and simplest spirituality you can ever achieve. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to have doctrines and dogmas and demons and devils and hell and damnation, or even a heaven. Heaven can be right here. You can bring the kingdom of heaven to earth just by being in the present and fearless and recognizing that that's a loving state. And that is spirituality, and that is the source, that is God. And that the idea of this is it doesn't have to be so hard. It really can be that simple. And it is so simple that we sometimes have a hard time comprehending it. So take a moment just to exhale, just to be in this present moment, and then take an action out of love, out of compassion, and show the world what the world can be. And that's the simplicity of touching God, experiencing God, and it's the greatest mission in spirituality, to create a loving world. So that's my thought on this, guys. You have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.